Here is video 2 of my review of a different movie, which is a surprise to me that I actually was never. Well, how do I say it? I really wasn't gonna want to see this movie, but the trailers actually did it justice. I think a lot of movie companies are learning better with their trailers than what I want to say. I'll say this: Transformers 1, the animated movie, was done so dirty because none of us Transformers fans wanted to see it. I took the liberty to go see it because I was like, okay, I want to see how Chris Hemsworth treats Optimus Prime. So when I went to see it, it's crazy that that movie was so good as an origin story to progress into the Battle of Cybertron, to do more movies for that vibe, like that endless. They could have made a shit ton of stuff off of that. But again, when it comes to promoting your movies and stuff, you want to make it to where you get people in seats. That's one thing Transformers never could do. And again, we've been burnt on some of the Michael Bay movies. I'm not gonna say all of them because there is some good gems by Michael Bay with the Transformers movies. I mean, I will honestly say the first movie and the second movie were good. Now, you're probably wondering, why are you talking about Transformers? Because Transformers was a TV show back in the day, set movies too, that were made for toys. Now, why should any of you care about that? Well, He-Man falls under that. Masters of the Universe is an old TV show set back in the 80s that was a show made for creating toys. And it was also a great show about, some of the stuff they did in the show that was, kind of helpful for kids back in the day to, want to be a good man and, get stronger, get a little bit buff, look like He-Man. We kind of lost the plot of that a long time ago. Not saying that we, whatever's going on in people's lives is never going to be the same, but for what I remember, what were the 80s great for? Muscles, showing off that you're cool, and another thing that I cannot name on YouTube, but we're going to keep that one to ourselves. Anyways, He-Man is a really, really, really underrated character in the universe. I mean, everyone knows Skeletor. I mean, for God's sakes, if you don't know Skeletor's memes or anything from Skeletor, you're missing out. Because Skeletor is a massive character, but He-Man falls under that. Not too many people know more about, like, anything else but from He-Man. But I went and saw it last weekend, and I had no hopes for this movie to even be good. I will say that I was scared. For one, again, He-Man has been made a national property since the TV show that they made. If you want to catch other people's reviews, go watch them because I will never watch that show because of what they did, and I don't like what they did. So again, I am not one for that show, but if you want to watch it, go watch it. But if you want to watch people's reviews, I highly request go watching them before you watch that show. Anyways, so again, He-Man hasn't been really made relevant since, again, the 80s when Dolph Lundgren took over and made a movie back in the day. And what he said about his movie was, again, it was made too far from what they should have done because, again, not too many people, again, knew of He-Man or cared for He-Man at the time. And it was made past its time. So it really wasn't ready for anything. Even then, even if you watch now, you're still probably gonna be like, what the heck am I watching? But this one did a little bit better of explaining who He-Man was, what the origin of He-Man really is. And it does really good. The one thing I will say, and a lot of people are going to turn off after this, Jared Leto's in the movie. Now, before you take off and disagree with me on this movie, you're going to hate me for this. And a lot of people will. A lot of people have hated a lot of people's reviews on him. Jared Leto is good as Skeletor. Again, before you click off the video, let me explain. You don't see Jared Leto. You don't even hear Jared Leto. Whatever they did to make sure that no ounce of Jared Leto was shown, or whatever Jared Leto did to improvise as Skeletor, oh my god, the man's a good guy. Like, Skeletor was the best thing of this movie. And I hate to say that because it's like the movie I went to go see for He-Man, but I was more impressed by Skeletor being an a-hole to his team because that's literally how Skeletor was in the movies and the shows. He's a straight up just menace. And even the movie even acknowledges it towards the end that, we don't need villain origin stories anymore. We just need a good, clean cut villain that literally just hates his own world and just wants to destroy it. What's more impressive than that? So, I can tell with what the director wanted with Jared Leto, because honestly, I don't think anybody else could have played him. Maybe if they made his voice a little bit more feminine in a way, but even then, I still love this version of Skeletor. Even I was like, I'm gonna beat the snot out of this guy because I don't like him. And that's the type of vibe you want to get from a villain, is you don't want to appease to the villain, because again, most movies nowadays are making villains understandable, which again some are, like Megatron, um, Black Panther's Killmonger. I almost forgot his name. Thanos. Some of these villains that do need to be understood to be, because some of them can be changed, or what their real goal is. But for Skeletor, it's just like he's just a menace. And is some lore to it, but sometimes I think it's been altered like twice, so his origins is always going to be changed. Other than that, I have no ounce of like hatred for this movie. Maybe the like not the pacing, because the pacing was pretty good. The time was pretty good. It didn't feel long to me. Not as bad as the Mandalorian movie, but even it was longer than the Mando movie. But even for not even understanding He-Man, I could tell that people generally liked it. Like, I actually loved laughing at some of the stuff they did in the movie. Like, yes, some of it is MCU level humor, but there was one scene that actually had me crying because something happened, and it was just genuinely funny to me. But I think the one thing that's going to suck for this movie is the box office return. It opened really low, and with Scary Movie 6 coming out the same week, it was going to just not do numbers. And again, a lot of other stuff is coming out too. So if people aren't really getting good word of mouth from this movie, it's not going to do well. So I hope that I do motivate some of you to go see it, or, you know, I don't know. I want this movie to do good because they are setting up sequels that I hope do happen. But again, it's going to be hard because do we really need another Universal movie that builds a universe and then crumbles under the pressure of a sequel or a TV show? When in all reality, this movie just went out to do its own thing. And it wasn't trying to be anything different. It wasn't trying to be anything like serious. But it does have a hidden message of like, you know, you don't always need to fight, throwing hands at a problem. But sometimes words do not help in those situations. Sometimes you need to just drop kick something. But again, there's two sides to it. It's not just one sided. So I will say the actors did a very amazing job. The CGI looked pretty good for, everything needing to be CGI. There was some stuff that I wish could have been, uh, more like how Star Wars was when I said that they did puppetry. I wish they kind of did that with some stuff, but overall, I'm not even mad at this movie. I'd say a good 9.5 out of 10. I'll drop it down because I don't know. There was something that just felt off about this movie, but maybe it was just, again, it's trying to do what most movie stuff is trying to do, set up a universe. But what movie place isn't trying to? I mean, Obsession right now is their biggest box office, horror movie right now. And I applaud it because it's actually doing something very different for horror. And there's a really good message, and there's actually, you know, a very well grounded story. And I applaud that movie for doing something different. And then the director's going to make TV shows or movies for what the Wishing Willow in that movie does. So I'm excited for that. With Masters of the Universe, it's more of a franchise that's been gone for so long that do we need a revival of something that is already done? But that could be said the same thing for Transformers, Marvel, and DC. But I will say, if you guys do like it, go check it out. I loved it. My dad loved it. I kind of want to see it again just to watch it because the music was good. Like, my God, whoever, because I heard they brought back a guy that's done the music for so many movies. I think his name is Brian something. May. I could be wrong. And he is a total He-Man fan. And you can tell when he made this music, it was beautiful. The guitar, oh Like, I am a sucker for 80s guitar riffs. So whoever Brian is, I want him to keep making music. And I hope to God that this series does go, because my God, the guitar riffs in this sold me very much in this movie. So if you guys need something to watch to get your brain out of, and you don't want to go see a horror movie or scary movie 6 if it's goofy or stupid or way too much for you, Masters of the Universe is the way to go. I will say that. But overall, go check it out. It's a good movie. I support the actors and everyone who's involved in it. Again, you could chop my head off, but Jared Leto is a perfect Skeletor, and I'll stand by that. And that's about the only thing I can stand by for him. So I hope you guys like this review. Drop a like, drop a comment. Your guys' comments and likes are well heard and felt. And I'll catch you guys on my next review. Peace.